I've been working in the woods, earning my living from the woods since the 1960s. I've harvested almost anything there is to harvest. I picked a lot of boxwood daily. I've done salal, wild herbs, snake grass, and earned my living basically for myself and my sons. And then in 1978, I got into the wild mushroom business, and I exported mushrooms to Japan and Europe for 20 some odd years. And now I'm retired. And how I got into doing Christmas was to extend the year. The ladies who cleaned all the mushrooms, they wanted more money closer to Christmas. Mushrooms were usually over October, early November. So we had machines, and we basically did all the nurseries from White Rock to Mission for many years. Now, I retired in 2000, and since that time I just kept a few of the customers, and Ken and I just go out to augment our income, and we call it our fun money. We have fun picking the boughs and making the wreaths and things, and we have fun spending it down south later. This is an easy business for anyone to get into because you don't need, your equipment is small, you need a pickup truck and some tools, and you can go out and gather boughs. A clamp machine costs you very little, but I would recommend to anyone who's thinking of going into business that they make some samples, they take them around to the area where they want to sell them and decide how they want to sell them. Are they going to sell them in craft fairs? Are they going to sell them to the wholesalers? Are they going to sell them in a small town? Take those people a sample of what you're going to do, get your orders, and then start making your product. You don't make a lot of product and then go out and try to sell it. It doesn't work. And then once you get your customer, it's really important to live up to what you say you're going to do. If you promise to deliver something, they're counting on you, so you don't let them down. If you make a nice quality sample, that's the quality you deliver throughout the year. You don't get careless when you have a lot to make. And I always find as I work with my customers, we establish a really good working relationship. And once you have that, you're set. It'll go on from year to year. I guess another thing I should mention is that if we're talking about Christmas greens, you should start in July. If you wait till the Christmas season, everybody has already decided where they're getting their greens from for that year. So in July, you should figure out what you want for your products and put out a pamphlet maybe and take it around. And also at that time, take your samples so they know what they're going to get when the time comes. Of course, before you go out to the woods and start taking the boughs, you should go to the forestry and talk to them and find out what the regulations are in that area. I always go before we start and just tell them, they know me for many years now, but I just go and tell them that I'm going to be out and tipping. You need to make a point that you are tipping. You're not cutting down trees. It's just like you're pruning a tree. It's not like you're destroying a tree. And they always just thank me for coming in and letting them know that I'm going out. So it's been very easy for me. Sometimes they recommend that I go to a logging company and make sure it's all right with the logging company, that I'm on their roads and so on. But I don't know, I've never had a problem with access. Basically, for the last 30 years, I have harvested in the Squamish Valley, a little bit at Whistler and in the Pemberton Valley. And we reharvest every year where we've harvested before. We try to be as environmentally friendly as possible. We try to put any limbs that we do take off back under the tree we've taken them from. We are leave no trace pickers. We don't leave anything in the woods. Nobody could see where we've been. We never clip more than a third of the way up the tree. We keep our tipping. And what we are doing is tipping. When we tip the tree, we try to do it at a joint or a crotch where we can, when it grows again, 2 limbs will come out instead of 1. And we see that quite often, especially in balsam and cedar, that happens. Red osier dogwood is really a renewable resource. In fact, when it gets too bushy and the long, thin stalks are no longer there, you can cut it back and the next year it will be all new green shoots that are harvestable. We also pick it in avalanche areas where the snow come down every year and just break it all up, and those bushes will produce nice straight stalks. So I don't think there's too many challenges, so long as you're delivering good product. In the garland, there's endless market for garland. Like if you're supplying good garland, you'll sell it. And I think the same with the wreaths. If you're supplying a good supply, and your cost is within what others are offering, I think there's lots of business out there for wreaths and greens. We were talking the other day, and I know in Vancouver they're importing the wreaths from Oregon. So surely we could do better than that from home.